في استوديو بوك اند فلاي للعبة Gears of War Judgment وراح نتكلم عن اللعبة الحين ونبدأ الانترفيو. So hi guys, how are you?
Hello.
Good?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for inviting me to your studio. First of all, the game looks really amazing, and I love the graphic. I love how smoothly it is, and it seems different than the other Gears of War. It looks like Gears of War, but I don't know. It looks smoother, so I really enjoyed it. So, can you introduce us?
Can I introduce myself?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am the lead level designer. My name is Wojciech.
Piotr Krzywonosik, senior producer.
So can you tell us more about this game?
Well, I think this is the most intense and heart-pounding Gears up to date. I think that the comment that you just made about the game looking great, and well, we've heard things like the best-looking Gears up to date.
Yeah.
Personally, being a lead-level designer, I would also hope that after a while of playing this, you will also appreciate the tactics and combat setups of each arena. This is obviously, looks are not everything. The game actually needs to play great, and I assure you that you will like it.
Well, I like it. What I played now, I played the first level, and I don't know, the graphic looks great, and the combat also, it runs smoothly, and that's what I noticed about it. And I was like, oh, it's a different Gears of War, but at the same time, it has the elements from Gears of War that we love. Can you tell us about the story about Gears of War Judgment?
Yes, well, as Wojtek mentioned, there's been a couple of new things that we introduced, and in Judgment, it's also a whole new story. With Gears Trilogy nicely wrapping up with Gears 3, we thought there's an opportunity to tell a new story. This is Gears of War is a huge universe and has thousands or hundreds of thousands of untold stories, and this is us telling one of them. What is important here is that we, when we were thinking what's next here for Judgment, we consulted the fans, and we kind of took the feedback into consideration. And you know what, they wanted to learn about the E-Day, which is the foundation, the founding event for the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
But we never really get a chance to talk about E-Day in detail. So Judgment talks about the story. Judgment takes you there just after the E-Day and lets you witness what was happening at that point. And also, while in Judgment we focus, we tell a story of Bert. Bert is our main hero, and it's interesting because in Trilogy again we had a chance to talk about Marcus, we had a chance to talk about other characters in detail, but we really never told the story of Bert, and this is us now bringing Bert closer to the players, and it's interesting because just to give you an example, Bert is private in the trilogy, but he's lieutenant in Judgment, and we explain why. So yes, so we'll tell you this. You'll find out why that happened, that he got demoted.
And also the fans that actually are with the franchise from the very beginning, when the first time Marcus and Bert meet, there is this kind of headbutting, like so.
Who's boss?
Who's boss, exactly. And this game actually will allow you to understand kind of why. Also, the part that you've mentioned about the great graphics of this game, this is actually the part of the decision to show the fans Emergence Day, because well, every Gears game was telling the story about the destroyed beauty, as in almost 2 decades after the E-Day, right? Everything is destroyed, rotten.
The humanity fall.
Yeah, you have the vines growing on the
Destroyed buildings.
On the buildings and so on. Well, here you started to play the Museum of the Dragon. It's apocalypse in the making.
Yeah.
You can see that the lights are on in the old town, which is something that you will experience nowhere else in the entire game. So This gave us a very interesting angle that we try to explore to offer the fans something that is interesting, something that is gears obviously, but something that is at the same time something new that they wanted to see all the time.
So you mentioned that there's going to be a lot of new stuff in the game. What's new in the game? Like, whoa.
We have to narrow this question.
Yes, I'm not sure if we have
so many things, but I guess we could start off maybe with multiplayer because we talked about the campaign, but we'll definitely want to get back there because it's also important. We're introducing a whole new spectrum of multiplayer modes. So Overrun that some of the fans may have already had a chance to find out about, which is the player versus player. Sorry.
Player versus player mode. That's what it is.
Yes. But you played a team of Keek soldiers versus Locust soldier in a class-based experience.
So this is the first class-based PvP experience in Gears universe that we're breaking. So
exactly. And also, so just briefly on Overrun, but today we're focusing on survival, which is the most in-depth co-op experience we have yet created in Gears of War universe. So in survival, basically you play as Keek soldiers defending against the hordes of the 10 waves of increasing difficulty. Locust attacking you. Your goal is your objective is to defend the E-holes, while obviously the Locusts are there to destroy them. And again, you get to play in co-op mode with other players in a class-based experience, which brings a whole new layer. And the amazing. There's so many tactical options. There's the cooperative mode is just taken to the limits. We also are talking about the new modes. We're introducing free-for-all, which is something we've never done before, and it's a classical deathmatch. Everybody against everybody, so shoot everything that moves. Can you survive this? So it's amazing how well it plays, especially on the top of some of the improvements we've made to the control scheme, which are now which kind of respond to the fast. Paced and intense gameplay that is both in multiplayer but also in campaign as well. So you know, the handoff grenade, the quick weapon swap, but also the freedom of movement has been increased in the multiplayer. So now you can jump out of ledges. So you gotta have your eyes around your head at all times because you can be surprised. But also you can surprise your enemies by sneaking behind them, jumping off the ledges and causing manhunt. It's worth mentioning very briefly also about the domination mode, which is basically a mode where teams struggle to get control over the rings, 3 rings on the map, and basically gain points thanks to gaining the control, and thus winning or losing the match. So apart of those new modes, we also, for the fans, we bring the good old team deathmatch. And we're hoping that this whole new package with the team deathmatch will be something the players will enjoy for months on. Do you want to add on the campaign?
Yes, definitely.
So much.
Yeah, so for me, like the one of the greatest things that gets me personally, like, okay, this is what I always wanted to do, is the fact that we are using a completely new system, the S3 system, the Smart Mode system. That actually, this is no longer like, scripting the way this arena will happen all the time, every single time. No. And of course, this is something that requires change of the way we developers think about how we make those arenas. But it is great because you not only every single time you play, you really don't know what happens. So
every time you're going to have a different experience while playing the game.
Well, yes, as in obviously for us. There is this fine line between having this random and at the same time we want each of the combat arenas to have a kind of theme, to be unique, because otherwise it's just,
just killing.
So basically this is a really complex thing to do, but at the same time I think we did it really well. And it's like, yes, every single time you play, the general feeling of the arena and the theme of arena will be there, but the enemies that you face might be different. Their tactics might be different. The places that they come from might be completely different. And also, this will be adjusting to your tactics, your skills. So it is really something that I think you should like.
I like it.
It's amazing. I just wanted to add, because again, like I said, we're introducing a whole bunch of new things. I said about backstory, but we're also introducing new characters, which we are very excited to bring closer to the fans. One of them is Garon Paduk, who is a former URR major who joins, who after the E-Day, who after the Pendulum Wars joins the COP ranks and fights Arinam with those guys. There's also Sophia Henriks, who is Onyx Guard cadet, freshly graduated from the academy, and she also she's one of the Onyx Guard whom we never really talked very much about in the games before. And then you'll get to know Sophia's story as well, and who she is, her perspective, and how she acts. So that's also pretty cool, and we hope that the fans will enjoy that.
Yeah, so still talking about campaign, it's like another layer of things that actually make this even more interesting is the classification system. Because this is something that changes a lot in the way each of those parts plays. For example, in the second level that we will be playing today, which is Seahorse Hills, the rich neighborhood, so to speak, you can classify the part when actually, in the normal version, you're just going through someone's mansion. Okay. If you declassify, well, that was a rich man who actually on the black market decommissioned military equipment and armed his garden with sentry guns to prevent from burglars, right? So instead of fighting, you versus Locust, suddenly it's you versus Locust, you versus defense versus Locust, and it changes completely the tactics and the way it plays. Yes, it is. And every single chunk of the game has this kind of declassified version. So, and by the way, playing the classified versions gets you more stars, which get you unlocks. So you will probably want to experience those versions.
I'll ask you about the Middle East and your fans in the Middle East. Gears of War.
Well, we are very proud with Gears of War Judgment. I think it's a great game that both fans will love, and the new people to the IP will also enjoy, because it's a good game. So hopefully fans all over the world will pick up the game in a couple of weeks and will enjoy both campaign and multiplayer for weeks to come.
And also, a lot of design decisions were made based on fans' requests, fans' feedback. So we are really quite certain that we are delivering something that quite a lot of people will love.
Thank you very much. I would love to sit and talk with you more if we had time, but we don't. And so I'll just go back and play the game now, and you can stop me.
All right.
Thank you.
Enjoy.